It's time for Fantasy Football Semi-Pros. Let's do it.
Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Football Semi-Pros. I'm Brandon. With me again is Ryan. Ryan, how are you today?
I had a day off, so I'm doing terrific.
Yeah, I can't wait for my day off on Friday.
I also have the Friday off.
And then I get next Friday off.
I don't know if I do.
And then I have the whole week after that off.
I know I have Christmas off.
Well, Christmas is a Sunday, I believe.
Did I know that I have it off?
I could be wrong. It could be Saturday. I think that's why we have Friday off. But not this Friday, next Friday. All right, so let's jump into it.
All right.
So we'll start with Devon versus the coin. And the good news is Devon hasn't beat us this week.
Good. Where are we at? I haven't even checked.
I think we're 10 and
3.
3, yeah. Devon, she is 9-4 on the week. And the coin is 8-5, so she maintains a win. Well, at least a tie. I don't know who picked who.
Yeah, I don't know who picked who for tonight's game.
So
Did you take the Rams or the Cardinals?
She probably took the birds.
Yeah, you do pick a lot of birds. I do think the coin took the Rams, though, if I recall. But I don't know. We won't be able to see until the game starts.
All right, well, anyways, time to introduce Devon versus the coin.
There you go. All right, week 15 is coming up on us very quickly here in 3 days. No buys. The bye weeks are over after week 14, which is this current week. About to close it out with Rams traveling to Arizona, I believe. I can't remember, but
Yes.
I can't remember who's home. I think Arizona's home. So let's kick it off with Thursday night's game for week 15. You ready?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready.
Just a little disclaimer. Devon did zero research.
I did zero research last week, too, and it seems to have worked out.
Okay. Well, kicking off on Thursday is the Chiefs at the Chargers. The last time these two teams played, the Chargers won at Arrowhead in Kansas City.
I feel like the Chiefs will win this time.
They're on.
Like Devon.
Yeah, you get to talk louder with that weak
The
volume.
Chiefs will win this time.
Okay, well, the coin also took the Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs are on like what, a 6-game win streak right now, something like that. 5 or 6 game win streak. I don't know. Now we got 2 games on Saturday this week. Just in case all of you all were wondering, there's 2 games Saturday, and the first is at I think 4:30 Eastern time, and that is the Raiders at the Browns. The Browns are favored by 6.5 points.
I'm gonna go Browns.
Yeah, the coin said the Raiders. I don't know why. And then it's prime time, 8:20, I believe, is kickoff for this game. It's the Patriots traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. The Colts are favored by 1.
But I picked the Patriots.
You did pick the Patriots.
Mhm.
Okay, well, the coin said the Colts.
We'll see.
Okay. We will indeed. All right, so on Sunday, starting with the early slate of games, I have no idea where the late games start or whatever, so we'll just wing it. Sunday games, Carolina Panthers traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills.
The Bills.
Yeah,
For sure.
the Bills are favored by 11. The Bills seem to be huge favorites, and I don't understand why. But the coin said the Panthers. All right, next up, New York Jets traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
It's going to be a barn burner. I doubt it. Yeah, the Dolphins are favored by 8.5.
Barn burner?
It's like a
High-scoring game.
high-scoring game.
Okay, then.
Yeah, they're burning the roof off because there's so many points being scored. Everybody's on fire. Anyway,
On
doesn't
fire.
matter.
Got it.
The coin said the Jets. I'm not sure if you picked with the coin yet. I could be
What?
wrong.
I picked the Dolphins. that what you're asking?
Yeah, but the Jets took.
He's saying
The
we
coin
have
took the
picked same
Jets.
games, the same team.
Oh yeah, they have the Chiefs. That was the only one. All right, next up, Washington football team at Philadelphia taking on the Eagles. Eagles favored by 4.
Football team.
You're not gonna go fly Eagle fly?
No,
Fly
not
Eagles?
this time.
Okay.
Maybe
Well,
the football team's a bird. I don't know.
the football team played very poorly against the Cowboys yesterday, so maybe they'll bounce back. All right, next up. Oh God, Arizona Cardinals take on Detroit.
I think the Cardinals will definitely.
Yeah, the Cardinals are currently favored 13.5 points. But the coin said Lions. The coin also said the football team. If I didn't say that, sorry. So coin has Lions. Wow. Wow. Next up, Cowboys at Giants. Cowboys favored by 10.5.
Cowboys.
Coin said Giants. Titans at Steelers. Could be a decent game.
Titans, but I want to go Steelers.
Titans are favored by 2.5 on the road, but the coin says Steelers as well.
I'm going Steelers.
Okay.
Not sure why.
It is spoken. All right, next up, we got the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Houston's won 2 games this year, and one of them was an opening week 1 win hosting Jacksonville.
Well, I'm going to go with the Jaguars.
The Jags are favored by 3. And the coin said Jags. Look at that. Next up, Bengals travel to Mile High to take on the Broncos.
Bengals.
Broncos are favored by 1.5. I like the matchups for the Bengals, so I agree with your pick, but the coin does not. The coin said Broncos.
The coin knows nothing.
Okay, well, it's beaten all of us at
Neither
least
do
once.
I.
All right, next up, Falcons at 49ers. 49ers are favored by 8.
49ers.
Coin says Falcons. All right, next up, Packers at Ravens. The Packers are favored by 5 points.
Packers.
Coin says Ravens. Seahawks at Rams.
I'm going to go Rams.
Rams are favored by 7. Coin says Seahawks, though. Sunday night game, Saints at Buccaneers. Buccaneers are favored by 11.5 points.
Jeez, that's a lot of points.
The last time these two teams played, Jameis Winston got hurt and exited the game, and Trevor Siemian came in and led the Saints to a win. But that could be different. You said the Bucs?
The Saints do not have Drew Brees anymore, and the Bucs have Tom Brady, so.
But the Saints beat the Buccaneers with Tom Brady with Trevor Siemian at quarterback.
Well, I think the Bucs will win.
Okay.
I don't think they did. I think it was a close game.
No, they stomped the Buccaneers. They won pretty easily because Brady threw 2 or 3 interceptions.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I think it was 2 picks and he had a fumble. Anyway, coin says Buccaneers. Monday night game. Vikings favored by 3.5. Travel to Chicago to take on the Bears.
I'm on the fence in this one, but I think I'm gonna go Vikings.
Okay, the coin also said the Vikings. Thank you for participating in.
Thank you for having
Devon.
me as a celebrity guest.
I don't know. Thank you for participating in Devon versus the coin. Uh-oh. Time for Brandon's best bets. I did.
No, you didn't.
I did it better than the song itself.
No, you didn't, because that wasn't the right song.
Oh, well, I don't care. I do what I want.
So, it's time for Brandon's best bets.
Okay, what do you got? They come up with something.
All right. So, Brandon's best bets. Let's see. So, on
Rashad
here,
Penny.
the first one I have on here is Rashad Penny. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He came out of nowhere. Yes. Not really nowhere, but
I mean, he had 137 rushing
I think he had
yards?
150 yards total. We'll get to that later. But he's only 25% rostered.
Well, I don't blame anybody for that.
No other running back on this team has looked good.
No.
So
No. But especially not Alex Collins.
They play the Rams next week. I'm not starting him, but he's probably an ad where, especially if I have a bye in the playoffs this week,
Yeah.
I'm adding him and sitting him on my end of the bench because I want to see what he does against a better team.
Right.
The next person I have, Ryan's going to love this one, Rashad Bateman.
Who I dropped last week.
Rashad Bateman's 52% rostered, and I think he had like a 40% target share yesterday.
It's quite impressive.
And then another rookie, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That's my boy.
He's 32% rostered, and he's had 12 targets in each of the last 2 weeks.
I mean, not having Hawkinson this week really helped him, but really hurt me not having Hawkinson. So, I mean, it's up. This Lions offense is starting to cook a little bit. So, I mean, they might have some plausible plays in there, especially in deeper leagues. Oh, jeez. Thank you. Have fun wrapping presents.
All right.
Santa
And then
Claus
another
is
one I
not
do
real.
want to add on here with some news that we got today that Emmanuel Sanders is probably going to miss some time. It's
Did not know
Gabriel
that.
Davis.
Gabriel Davis, yeah. I think he has a touchdown in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's really starting to carve out a role, and it can only go up with Emmanuel Sanders out, I think.
Yeah, and he's young, too. So, I mean, this is his second year in the league. And, yeah, I liked him last year. I tried to get him in a couple dynasty
Oh, actually,
drafts,
and
but
some breaking news. Pete Carroll says they'll keep rotating running backs, but says Rashad Penny deserves a chance to keep starting for now.
Thank you, Pete Carroll.
All right, and then QB and defensive streamers. I try to go with 2 streamers for each, and I try to go with like lesser rostered players. But I can only find 1 for QBs, and that's Tua
fair.
versus the Jets.
Yes.
If you wanted to get risky,
Davis Mills versus the Jaguars.
yes, Davis Mills versus the Jaguars. He had a really good game.
Yeah, he's on my bench in our Superflex league, but that's unfortunate. Played Ricky Seals-Jones over Davis Mills. I knew I should have done it. I think he had 29 points, 331 yards, and a touchdown.
Yep. As for defensive streamers, I actually went and grabbed one of these teams that I'm going to put on here
Yeah, I dropped
last
him.
night
A couple weeks ago. I dropped him.
because they haven't played yet. And if you can get them, like if I was able to drop a bench player that he's already played, but our league set up so you can drop players that you played as long as they're on their bench.
Yep.
The Cardinals at the Lions.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are a good defense, and the Lions are they're probably still going to be without Swift. Could potentially still be without Williams. Could
Yeah.
be missing Hawkinson.
Yeah, they don't put up a whole ton of points. So you just have to hope you get that one Lions player that might get that touchdown that day. and yeah, Arizona's a great defense. It was hard to let them go, but I needed somebody.
The next one I have on here is the Bears versus the Vikings, and this one's more narrative based. The Bears are a good defense still.
Not bad.
There's not an argument there.
It's just
but-
it's hard for them because Aaron Rodgers owns them.
But Kirk Cousins, he struggles in prime time. There's some kind of mental block there where most of the time he does not play well. And they play each other on Monday night.
Could be a good game.
It could be a good game, but there's also plenty of room for turnovers.
Yeah, that's true.
And then another one I just kind of wanted to throw out there is the Rams. The Rams play the Seahawks, and the Seahawks haven't looked great. Russell Wilson definitely, he's starting to look better, but he hasn't looked like Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
They're out there about 50%,
rostered.
and it's just one of those that if you can get them, it's not a bad defense to have out there. The other thing I do want to say with this, especially if you have a bye, start looking a week ahead.
No.
Get that before anybody else can. Anybody you want to add on here?
Nah, I can't think off the top of my head. I didn't have anybody that I was out there looking at on the waiver wires or anything saying this is the guy you need.
All right. Well, that's all we have for Brandon's best bets.
Nah.
So,
Oh, preview recap opening. Nice.
yep. So we got our Week 14 recap. That's the third time we've used that drop, Coons.
Oh, sorry.
So we'll start with the Thursday night game from last week. We had the Steelers and the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
The
Good
Vikings,
game.
yeah, the Vikings won this one 36-28. But Ben Roethlisberger's making an argument to be considered as a streamer weekly start lately.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I don't know what game I watched, but the Steelers didn't show up until about halfway through the third quarter, and then they just couldn't stop scoring, and just unfortunately they couldn't make one more stop or one more conversion.
Yeah,
But
and good news if you had Najee, you probably won your matchup. He had a good game this week.
yeah, he did.
Great thing with Najee Harris, if they're ahead, he's getting his work.
Mm-hmm.
If they're down,
He's getting work.
So you've got yourself a running back that's using all.
Yeah, he's certainly a 3-down back. I mean, the only time Najee comes off the field is when he needs a breather. And I don't even think he needs a breather. It's just kind of like, let's not get this kid hit so many times that he can't play next year.
Yep. As for receivers, Claypool, he had himself a game, but he might cost the Steelers a chance to tie this up.
Yeah, he's really dumb. I remember texting you, and I said Claypool is so athletic, but he's so dumb. He just cost him 10 seconds.
Yeah.
10 seconds off the clock.
And if you don't remember what we're talking about, he got a first down late in the game, very late.
Yeah, like 20 seconds left, 22 seconds left.
He made sure he stayed on a knee, pointed with the football, first down, and one of the linemen comes running over to grab the ball.
And then he throws the ball.
He didn't throw it, actually.
Oh.
One of the players from the Vikings
Came over and hit it.
He hit the guy's hand and knocked the ball away. It was so faint that you wouldn't have noticed it. I mean, smart move by that guy.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, man, you got to coach this kid. And from what I'm reading online, everybody's saying Claypool is his own worst enemy right now.
Yeah.
And he needs to mature a little bit for him to take that next step.
Deontay Johnson, he had himself a down game for him, but he gets so many targets, you're going to keep him in your lineup.
Yeah.
Washington, I mean, he's hit or miss. Freiermuth, he should have had himself 2 touchdowns in this game.
That was a great defensive play on that very final play of the game.
Yep.
Great defensive play. You can't fault Freiermuth for not hanging on to that one. That would have been a tough catch to make for anybody. So, yeah, but yeah, you're right. Great opportunity for 2 touchdowns there, but just couldn't pull it in.
As for the Vikings, I mean, Kirk Cousins, he didn't
have to do much.
He didn't really cost you this game, but he didn't win you the week.
Well, I mean, Dalvin Cook had 200 yards rushing. You don't need many yards elsewhere if your running back going into the last 5 minutes of the game is averaging 9.9 yards per carry. You don't need your quarterback to do much.
Did you see today, just recently, that the Vikings signed Wayne Gallman?
No.
They did it, I guess, because Alexander Madison's tested positive for COVID, which there was 37 positive tests today.
I was not aware of that. That's insane.
Yeah. KJ Osborne, he saved your day with a touchdown, a long touchdown catch.
Yeah, and that's what I expected from him. I went out and grabbed him minutes before Thursday night because we're playing each other. Went out there and I said, I'm just not comfortable with Brandon Cooks right now. For whatever reason, my gut said, don't play Brandon Cooks. And Brandon Cooks had more points than KJ Osborne. But Osborne did salvage the day with that 40-something yard touchdown catch.
And then Justin Jefferson, he had a good game, but not what you expect of Justin Jefferson lately.
No, I mean, he didn't lose your league.
No, he played, he still scored like 20 points in the PPR league.
Yeah.
That's what you should be probably about average for him.
20 and a half.
So, I mean, he's just been going off lately, so that's why I said it was like a down game for him.
Yeah.
All right, our next game, we had the Ravens at the Browns, where the Browns won 24-22.
You called it, man, but that Browns defense didn't step up there. Justin Tucker probably would have had 1 million points this week instead of just 16.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson, he left this game early after 4 passes for 17 yards with an ankle injury. They do expect him to play this week.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Andrews and Bateman and Brown are really the only other guys you're starting here. Like we said, Bateman had 7 receptions for 103 yards. But Huntley, as long as he is in, he looks like he hyper targets Andrews.
We got 11 receptions, 115 yards, and a TD. Managers that roster Andrews are very happy that happened.
As for the Browns, I mean, Nick Chubb, he's a touchdown dependent running back now.
Yeah, which is so weird, man. So weird.
And then Kareem Hunt, he left this game with an ankle injury. He's week to week, but they said they don't expect to have him this week.
That's unfortunate.
I did mention Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's one of those low floor, high ceiling guys. And he got you 5 receptions for 90 yards, so.
Not terrible, but the guys you really wanted this Sunday was Jarvis Landry and Austin Hooper, but who would have known Hooper? More wrapping paper?
Everybody gets their own roll.
How many tubes of wrapping paper do we own?
I bought them all. Don't worry about it.
Okay, how many do you own? Sorry.
Well, actually, I think I mentioned Hooper as a possible good play because Njoku was out, Hunter Bryant was out.
Yep.
And they do like to use their tight end. The next game, we had the Jaguars at the Titans. Really, there's not a lot to talk about here.
No.
Urban Meyer's I think he's tearing this team apart.
Well, now, I saw a press conference with him, and he said, I'm not in that business of this person said that, and he said this, and he said that. If there's a source for all these rumors, then they're unemployed. So, yeah, I don't know, just the way he addresses things, it just seems like...
After the game, did you see the handshake between him and Vrabel?
No.
Who actually, I think, used to work together?
Mm-hmm.
Urban Meyer didn't make eye contact. It was just quick. Put his hand out.
Limp noodle shake? Yeah. That's what you get from an Ohio State person. They don't handle losing well.
Robinson, though, he saw 61% of snaps, but he only got 6 touches.
Yeah, and I got lucky because I went out and also picked up Devonta Foreman for the Titans.
Yeah.
Played him over Robinson this week because I didn't have Jonathan Taylor.
As of right now, I'm not touching anybody on this Jags roster.
No, you're not. They don't put up points. They don't move the ball. They have many 3-and-outs. They punt the ball like 15 times a game. Yeah, you're staying away from any Jaguar right now.
Yeah, I mean, as for the Titans, I'm not sure there's really anybody I'm considering starting either. I mean, Julio Jones, he didn't play his full allotment. They're kind of easing him back in. Plus, they didn't need him this game.
No, they didn't. I mean, Foreman did pretty good. I mean, he had 47 rushing yards on 13 carries, touchdown, which salvaged his day, and 2 receptions, 15 yards. But, I mean...
But they're using 3 different running backs.
That's the scary part. Yes, I got really lucky, and I won't need him next week. So, if I happen to make the playoffs, if I get 55 points from Kyler Murray tonight, 58 to be safe.
Yeah, I'm hoping for anything above, 50 and less than...
You said 45 to 50 points.
47 to 50.
Okay, yeah, I'll take 55.
And 30 points from your cousin Will.
Alex Trebek, I'll take 58 points, please.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, we play against the median. I needed his wife to go 0-2, which she got 2 late touchdowns from Aaron Jones yesterday, which, yeah. But he still has Kyler Murray going, so he has a chance to knock her out of the median and...
Knock you off.
Hopefully not.
I just need 58 points.
All right, so our next game, we had the Raiders at the Chiefs. The Chiefs won this one 48-9. And what were the Raiders thinking, dancing on the logo before the game?
Yeah, you see this almost every year. The Steelers did it last year when third string QB Brandon Allen was starting.
No, it was Ryan Finley started.
Oh, Ryan Finley was starting at quarterback for the Bengals, and they went out there and smacked him around. And now, yeah, that's just a bad move. I don't understand who would think that's a good idea in the NFL.
Thing is, though, Derek Carr actually had himself a decent game.
And
he didn't look bad.
The weird thing is, I saw this thing today. It said, "Is it time for the Raiders to move on from Derek Carr?" And it's like, are you kidding me? He's the only thing keeping these people in any of these games.
That used to be a common thing when Gruden was there. It's like Gruden, for some reason, seemed to hate Carr.
Yeah.
But
he's a good quarterback, but...
I got a question for you right now.
Okay.
Who would you rather have going forward? Hunter Renfrow or Tyler Lockett?
I think Renfrow, just because of the volume.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting that consistent volume. Like, Lockett has that ability to win you a week any week.
Lockett's ceiling's higher.
But Renfrow,
His floor's higher.
as for Josh Jacobs, it's hard to continue starting him. I mean, he got, I think, double-digit fantasy points because he had 5 receptions.
Yeah.
But other than that, Renfrow and Waller, once he comes back, are about the only guys that are locking in starters for you for that play on the Raiders.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you might want to stream Carr against bad defenses, but that's about it.
And then the Chiefs, looking at the score, you think they're back, but Hill didn't do much. Kelsey hasn't done much. He's actually had 3 receptions for 27 yards in back-to-back weeks.
That's eerie. He's going to go crazy next week.
But Josh Gordon finally gets his first touchdown as a Chief.
Yeah, and Derek Gore was your leading running back for the team, and that all came on a 51-yard touchdown scamper late in the game. But yeah, I mean, you're fine. You're starting CEH and you're starting all those guys. So
Yeah, I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the good news is he got 2 touchdowns, so it looks like they are trying to use them around the goal line more.
great.
All right, our next game, we had the Saints at the Jets, and this game was
We
just,
watched it, and
was
it was boring. It was awful.
but
I mean, I think there was a stretch in the game there. The first or second Saints possession, there's like 4 or 5 plays, consecutive plays. A flag was thrown.
Yeah.
And twice the flags were picked up. You're like, then why even throw that?
But
damn
for the
thing?
Saints, you're really only starting Hill and Kamara.
That's it.
And they play the Bucks next week, so
It's gonna be tough.
it could be tough, yeah. But Hill could still have a good game against the Bucks,
Just dump it down to Kamara. Dump.
or just run it like I was saying all day yesterday.
No. Don't let.
Oh, I like what Kamara said after the game after Hill scored that touchdown.
I told him to slide and take a knee.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, you're not starting a Saints pass catcher.
No.
As
They're
for the
too
Jets,
shady.
I mean,
Ooh.
Michael P. Ryan, his
Have
first
himself a
carry
day.
was only his second carry of the year for him.
Really?
Yep.
His first carry was?
His first carry of the day was his second carry on the year.
Well, he led them in touches. Well, rushing attempts, but I mean,
Thing is, Ty Johnson, he seems to be the PPR guy. Until
Yeah.
Elijah Moore's back, I'm probably not touching it. Actually, Elijah Moore's probably done for us for the year.
yeah, for us, yeah.
So I'm not
See you
touching
next year,
anybody
Elijah.
from
No,
the Jets, really.
no. And I almost made an adjustment. I almost tinkered. I almost over tinkered and put Ty Johnson in a flex position.
You had Crowder at one point.
This is different leagues. This
Oh.
is my. I think I played Hilliard instead of Ty Johnson.
All right. Well, anyways,
doing
our next game, we had the Cowboys at the football team. And Dallas won this one 27-20.
But it was not
But-
this close.
Wow.
Zeke?
Dak hasn't looked great lately.
No.
Zeke, I mean,
He made me.
he needs Pollard.
Dak made me look like an idiot stacking him in CD and DFS this week. Gosh, I think they combined for like 20 points.
But I mean, Lamb, he still played well. Cooper, he's right on the precipice. But
Cooper had a touchdown.
I thought I had it on there. I guess I didn't. Might
Yeah,
have
you
erased it
did.
or something. Anyways, Heineke, he didn't look great. He did not look good.
It was
but
the first time all season he hasn't looked very, very good at all.
he did lead this game with a knee injury. They're going to keep an eye on it, but I think they do expect him to be able to play Sunday. Antonio Gibson.
Patterson. Heck yeah, get in there, bro.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson, he fumbled this ball, and he was kind of benched for a little while.
Is that just the new thing in the NFL to treat these people?
Not new. It's just back.
No, okay. But you know what I want to see is punt returners and kick returners get benched for muffing kicks. Yeah, God.
Terry McLaurin, though, he let this game early. There was a ball that was a little bit overthrown. He went up there, and he almost came down with this, but his legs got undercut from him. He came down and had a concussion. So he's in the
Well-
concussion protocol.
Hopefully he's okay.
You know what I want to see from McLaurin? I want to see him get a consistent, good quarterback.
Yeah.
Because he's
yeah.
produced with pretty much everybody he's played with. I want him to see him with a good quarterback.
Yes. Not just a mediocre. Good. Good. Good.
All right, our next game, we had the
Yes.
Falcons at the Panthers, and Falcons won this one 29-21.
As I called it, I said they would.
Matt Ryan, I mean, he didn't have to do a whole lot.
Mm-mm.
And Cordero Patterson, he got a touchdown this week, but he's not getting the numbers he was for you at the beginning of the year.
No, and you had to think something was going to happen to that, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
Russell Gage had a decent game. Pitts, decent game, so that Gilmore coverage didn't really affect him all that much.
No, he had a better day than Gage.
As for the other side of this, Cam Newton and P.J. Walker were mixed in at quarterback, and Matt Rule, he said that they're going to continue to play both Cam and P.J. Walker.
Oh, God.
He's just trying to do anything he can to make the playoffs. And it looks like he's trying to be a college coach right now.
Playoffs? We can't even win a damn game.
Sam Darnold, he is a couple weeks away, he said, but they said he's going to be a factor down the road when he's back.
He will play?
Yeah.
So they're going to have a 3 QB system?
I don't know if they're going to have a 3 QB system or they're just going like Darnold and then like Cam coming in the goal line or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Well,
as for the running backs here, I can't really trust either. They both got you 10 fantasy points, but Hubbard did it with a touchdown, and
that's about it.
Yeah. But Robbie Henderson he showed up today or yesterday.
Yeah, and I mean, he did really well. And DJ Moore had a good day too.
Yeah, but he is day to day with a hamstring injury.
That's unfortunate. That's just the minute thing. That's unfortunate.
Our next game, we had the Seahawks at the Texans.
Not a game there.
I sent Ryan a message I saw from Twitter. So there was news weeks ago where, DK Metcalf, like he was having this girl over for a hookup, told her to leave because she was taking too long, like just turn around, and then called her back to have a foursome.
What?
Or I think it was a fivesome, actually. There's 4 other girls.
Jesus.
And ever since that day, since Wilson's been the quarterback, he's kind of been avoiding Metcalf. Metcalf's stat line in, 5 games that Russ has played.
Yeah.
17 receptions, 173 yards, no touchdowns.
Now, compare that to Lockett.
Lockett in that same time frame, 21, 444, and 2. Now, I'm not saying this is the reason why, but we all know Russell Wilson is super religious.
I don't know.
I just think it's a weird coincidence. But
weird coincidence, sure.
It's fun to kind of sometimes just put these things together.
Just put that rap poison out there.
But yeah, I mean, you can't bench Metcalf just because you know any moment he can go off.
And it's gonna be the day that you bench him is when he's gonna go score 40.
I had him in a dynasty league, and my whole goal last offseason was to trade him.
Yeah,
because he's similar to Lockett. Like, it's so inconsistent. But
unfortunately,
yeah,
yes.
Lockett this game, he went off. 5 receptions, 142 yards, and a touchdown. We talked about Penny. He had 137 yards rushing and 1 reception for 1 yard.
But he had 2 rushing touchdowns, so.
Yep. And then as for the Texans, we mentioned Mills. He's the ultimate call your shot play next week.
I don't even remember who's playing next week. The Jags? Yeah. Yeah, I'd play him.
I mean, he went 33 for 49. And at one point, I think he was, 5 for 5 with 180 yards?
He was actually up to, I think, 9 of 9. Like 155 yards.
That's
something weird like that. But yeah, I mean, he did pretty well.
Cooks, 8 receptions, 101 yards.
The week I bench him.
The Jags don't scare you, so I mean, I would definitely consider playing Cooks next week.
Oh yeah, I am over KJ Osborne. But then I gotta have a flex play
But they may not have a running game this next week.
Would you play?
David Johnson has COVID. Rex Burkhead, he left this game early with a groin injury.
Well, would you play James Robinson against the Houston Texans?
I don't think I'd trust. I'm not playing a Jaguar at all right now.
I can't believe I made that call, and I avoided a .4 bomb.
In my Superflex league, I had the choice between I had to play in my Superflex. I had the choice between Goff and Lawrence, and I went Goff, and it paid off for me.
Yeah, I mean, Davis Mills looked way better than Tyrod Taylor's looked all year, which is crappy because
I think Tyrod Taylor's been on 4 different teams.
I gave you so much for Tyrod Taylor, too.
For the Bills, he got benched for Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, that guy.
The Browns, he got benched for Mayfield.
Yeah.
The Chargers, he got hurt because punctured lung.
And then Justin
Herbert
Herbert.
took over and didn't look back. And now he's been benched for Mills.
All 4 rookies.
Well, Peterman wasn't a rookie.
Oh, okay.
But he just seems like that stepping stone quarterback.
Yeah. Now that we got our guy.
Yep. Our next game, we had the Lions at the Broncos. Jared Goff, he didn't have you a terrible game. But Craig Reynolds was a surprising running back here. He came out kind of nowhere.
Who's this guy? 83 yards rushing, 16 receiving yards on 2 receptions. I mean, no touchdowns, so that kind of stinks. But
so he was a practice squad guy that was called up for this game.
Okay.
And I don't know what happened with Jamar Jefferson, but
99 yards combined. So if
Yeah.
you have that bonus point for 100, you're 1 shy.
But we talked about it. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 receptions, 73 yards. Now he's just missing those touchdowns right now.
Josh Reynolds, he's getting the targets. He didn't have a great stat line today, and Khalif Raymond's even doing pretty well too. I mean, this is all without Hawkinson though.
Yeah.
So somebody,
But
yeah, you're
I
right.
still think Amon-Ra St. Brown is someone you could potentially start in a pinch, even with Hawkinson back.
Yeah, I do start him.
As for the Broncos, the
Bridgewater.
only people worthy of starting, it
Gordon
feels like
and
are the
Williams.
running backs.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon
Now, granted-
and Javonte Williams.
They didn't have to throw much this game,
Nope.
and I think they ran the ball almost 40 times. But what's disappointing, there was some speculation that after the way Williams played, that, okay, he's earned himself some more work. No. It went back to Gordon getting a little bit more work.
I mean, at the same
And-
time, you have to expect it. Final year of the contract. Let's get what we
Well,
can out of him.
he still has another year after this, but it's
I thought
most
it was an
likely
option.
it's not an option, but it's that weird one where they can cut him and not hit much or any dead cap.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
I know-
if they can get something out of him.
I know I've been talking up Williams a lot, and I don't think Gordon's bad.
No, I
Gordon is
like-
he's good. He's solid.
Yeah, I like Melvin Gordon.
But it's just you see the skill set of Williams.
Mm-hmm. And he's younger, fresher.
But Cortland Sutton, you can't rely on him in the playoffs.
You just can't rely on the Jerry. I mean, I love Jerry Jeudy as much as the next guy, and Cortland Sutton has a lot of upside. So does Tim Patrick, but the volume's not there for these guys, and we never know who Bridgewater is going to be favoriting on any given Sunday.
And I saw a tweet from Mike Clay. He's like, I'm not sure I've ever seen a team sign a wideout to such a pricey extension and just not bother to utilize that player.
Right.
Cortland Sutton's had 2 targets today and is on his way to falling short of 3 catches in 6 straight games.
Easiest money he's ever made.
I
Might be the most frustrating money
You
he's ever
really
made.
have to hope that this Broncos team gets Rodgers or Wilson or Watson or somebody in there
Yeah.
that's going to fling this ball around.
I'd love to see Aaron Rodgers in Broncos uniform.
That would be kind of cool.
It's the Mile High Club, man. He could throw a pigskin quarter-mile up there.
All right, our next game, we had the Giants at the Chargers. And
Not much
the
of a game
score
either.
seems closer than what the game actually was.
It was never a game. I don't even think we ever stopped on it when we were
We did a
flipping
couple
through.
times.
Just to, if every other game was at a commercial break, I
But-
think I stopped on this one.
Chargers won this one 37-21. Mike Glennon, we did watch this part. He got his first ever rushing touchdown in 9 years in the league.
It was so ugly.
But Saquon Barkley, he's starting to get he's starting to look more like Saquon Barkley of old, at
Yeah.
least a little bit. The thing that scares me with him, it's not a true timeshare, but this one more seems like a 60-40 timeshare.
Yeah, I mean,
with Booker.
Barkley averaged 4.6 yards a carry, if my math's right. Somebody out there with a calculator divide 64 by 16. I believe that it might just be 4. That's 4 yards per carry.
4 yards per carry, yes.
And he had 3 receptions for 31 yards and a touchdown. And that touchdown catch was an actual, like, a little wheel route for over 10 yards, I believe. So it was a nice ball, nice catch. He's going to get the work. It's Saquon. You start him.
I mean, I still think he's matchup dependent. Like, the Chargers are a run funnel typically, and this is a better game. Like, I don't mind benching him in certain games.
Fair.
Another wide receiver who cashed in, Kenny Gallaudet. He has not done anything this year.
No, I think he's had 2 relevant double-digit points in fantasy.
You know, I remember
this entire
the offseason, he was visiting with the Bengals, and we were super hopeful he would sign.
But I don't know if I ever really wanted him to sign.
Same. Like, I knew he was always injury prone. But this year, he just has not done a thing.
Nope.
As for the Chargers, Herbert, he's starting to be a little more consistent back to himself.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Eckler, he did lead this game early with an ankle injury, but Brandon Staley said that he could have returned to the game if necessary. This game just was never really close.
Nope.
The good news is, though, you saw the 2 young guys, Guyton and Palmer, step up in the absence of Allen.
Keenan Allen, yeah, I forgot he didn't play.
And even Mike Williams had himself a decent game.
Yeah, not bad. 12 points.
This next game, we can just skip it. The 49ers at the Bengals. The 49ers won 26-23.
I don't know why y'all are surprised, man. I don't know why.
I just want to say, though, I said on Thursday, Kittle was going to have most likely a very good game.
Yes.
He had a damn good game.
Yes, he did.
I about dropped the F-bomb on there.
But listen, man, Cincinnati, my heart's with you. As a Bengals fan myself, it's tough. It is tough watching this team. There's so much talent there. They just can't. They don't have that winning bone in their gosh darn blood. So we may not even make the playoffs. I think the Bengals lose out the rest of the season. And my prediction of them going to the playoffs is false.
Yeah. I mean, right now they're not in the playoffs. But as for the 49ers, without Elijah Mitchell there, Jeff Wilson got every running back carry.
Yeah, he looked okay.
Thing is, like you probably like this. You like that Deebo Samuel has a workload no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But he's getting a lot of his touches in the backfield as rushes, and that kills his PPR value.
Yeah, there's no PPR value there. I mean, if they're all rushes, you're not getting any catches.
The good news is when Deebo Samuel's being used like this,
Ayuk goes off.
Opens it up for Ayuk.
662 and a touchdown. I take that.
Mixon, like, you have to think, like, he didn't practice all week. This offensive line still beat up. Those 2 factors probably played into him not running as well as he has been. That and P. Ryan's getting most of the passing work in the backfield.
Yeah, and man, my heart feels for Joe Burrow. This kid's going out there and putting it all on the line, man. And dislocated his throwing pinky last week during the game and didn't even leave. Goes out there, completes 25 or 34 for 346 yards and 2 touchdowns, and your defense just can't make a play. Your offensive line just can't block. Your return men can't catch the darn ball. That's the one thing they're paid to do.
I mean, the good news, though, especially when they're down like this, it's leading to good games for Higgins and potentially Chase.
Yeah, I mean, even Azuma had a pretty solid game. And
Boyd didn't look bad.
Yeah, it didn't do terrible. He had that one fumble, though. I mean,
that was on a muff kickoff.
Was it a kickoff? I mean, these guys just – you're professional athletes. I understand it's going to happen, but 3 times in one game, 2 muff punts and a muff kickoff return.
Yeah.
And you just can't give teams like San Francisco the ball back with that kind of field position.
The thing is, and it's coming out, like, some of the players are talking like they're being too conservative. Zach Taylor is a terrible
coach.
I think he's trying to take on too much. He's trying to be like Sean McVay was when he came in. Sean McVay's calling the offense. He's being a head coach. And Zach Taylor's trying to do the same thing.
But he's
He
not a
needs to
good
give
head
up.
coach.
He could be a decent head coach. He's changed his culture around somewhat. He's made bounds with this team.
Sure.
But I think he needs to give up some of his duties and get an offensive coordinator in there that could be.
That's going to open
Yeah.
up the playbook and run the plays and not just dive here,
And
dive there.
Zach Taylor said in the post-game conference, he's like, I was too conservative at the end. We ended up kicking a field goal in the overtime because of it.
Yeah, I mean, for the love of God, a touchdown ends the game for you, you know, and you're going to settle for,
But
I don't know, man.
you got to hope with all this being said,
Bungles
they start
fans.
coming out guns a-blazing instead of being conservative.
Look, man, there's a bunch of players on this team I really enjoy watching, and it's like Dolphins fans don't deserve Tua. I just don't know if Cincinnati deserves Joe Burrow.
The fans deserve them. These fans are passionate.
Yeah, Burrow
It's
needs
the
to,
front office that doesn't deserve them.
yeah, the front office needs to just
But
burn.
anyways, enough of our Bengals.
Yeah,
fans.
sorry. Moving on, next game, Bills at Bucks.
This actually ended up being a good game in the end.
I mean,
It went into overtime.
before the Bills lost, they scored 21 unanswered to tie the game up to force it to overtime.
The Buccaneers ended up winning 33-27. And Josh Allen, I guess he's been
Sorry,
suffering with
24.
he's been diagnosed with I think both turf toe and a foot sprain. And he had a gutsy performance with that injury.
But I don't understand the play calling in Buffalo either. They didn't have a single halfback run play in the first half.
It's because their running backs are garbage.
And Singletary didn't get a rush. Breeder didn't get a rush. Moss didn't get a carry. I don't even know if he played. But, I mean, you have to...
Oh, I know. You have to keep them honest and run the ball at least some.
Right, okay. So, Josh Allen cannot do it all. He's still young. He's not Aaron Rodgers, okay? You have to stay consistent to a run game.
Oh, I agree.
If you're not going to put your running backs in the game and run the ball with them, then cut them. Let them go. And go get cheap guys so you can go get better players
Well,
elsewhere.
that is Breida. And the other two are still on their rookie contracts.
Oh, man, it's just bad. I mean, you can't put everything on
You got to
players'
think,
shoulders. It's
though,
just...
in the second or third round, you can see Buffalo taking an Isaiah Spiller, Kenneth Walker, Brees Hall.
I would hope they would take that in the first round.
No, I don't see a running back going in the first round this year.
Really?
There's a lot better receivers, and I think this is a better defensive draft.
Fair. I don't know. I think there's some running backs out there that I would certainly want on my team.
There are good running backs out here, and it's a deeper class, but it doesn't have that
Wow
true.
factor.
Yeah, it doesn't have that
Najee
playmaker
Harris.
take over the game.
Doesn't
type
have
player.
the Najee Harris.
But Diggs, he's going to be in lineup every week. Beasley's starting to get back on track. He had 9 receptions.
Dawson Knox is a set him and forget him. You're playing Dawson Knox.
And we
out of
mentioned
his bag.
Gabe Davis. He went 5 for 43 and a touchdown.
Not bad.
Um,
Not too shabby.
as for the Bucks, you're not benching Brady. I think he's the number 1 overall quarterback on the year, fantasy wise.
I believe it. He's had like 350
But-
yards passing every game.
Leonard Fournette, this guy's going off lately.
Yeah, last 5 or 6 weeks.
And then Godwin seems to be Brady's favorite target.
Mm-hmm.
Both Evans and Godwin are good, but Godwin seems to be getting the most targets. Thing is, Godwin could be gone next year.
I kind of hope so. I don't want to see another dynasty. Not two Tom Brady dynasties. Come on. One's enough, man.
And then the last game for Sunday, the Bears and the Packers. This actually was a pretty good game for the most part. It was exciting.
Nah. I was playing Call of Duty while I was watching it, so I don't know.
Justin Fields, though,
He didn't look terrible.
His stat line says 18 for 33, but he looked a lot better than that.
A lot of those throws were just getting it put it where my guy can get it or nobody else can under pressure.
Did you see the
And
play last night? He's in the middle of being sacked by like 3 people. His arm's trapped, and he just flings it out to David Montgomery.
I must have missed that, but that's pretty funny. He's a good athlete.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
They were talking to
Against the
Jimmy
kid.
Graham because Jimmy Graham's played with Breeze, Wilson, Rodgers, Trubisky,
Yeah, well, okay.
and Fields, and he was saying Fields reminds him a lot of young Aaron Rodgers. The way he plays.
I mean, yeah, he could, and maybe one day when Aaron Rodgers is old and crumbly, and Justin Fields is matured and grizzly, with the facial hair, he can own the Green Bay Packers. But
David
time will tell.
Montgomery, he didn't look bad this game.
Just the volume was
And-
not there.
Well, he still got 6 catches, so he saved your day.
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
Mooney, he didn't have the game we were hoping for. It's hard to start any of these receivers, but if I'm starting one, it's going to be Mooney. As for Rodgers, I mean, he had himself a day. He still owns the
Jesus,
Bears.
29 of 37, 341 yards, 4 touchdowns.
But apparently he faced a slight setback with his toe injury.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not going to miss
We
time.
have heard about this toe injury for 3 weeks, and Aaron Rodgers has been QB number 1 or 2 in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure he's going to play. It's just he's saying like it felt worse after this game than it has been. But AJ Dillon, this guy hits you like a linebacker.
He's a linebacker that just runs the ball well. I mean, he didn't have an overall great day stat-wise,
But he's getting the rushing work, and that's about it.
he might be the better
Runner.
he might be the better NFL player compared to a fantasy relevant
Yeah,
player.
but
He's better in real life than fake.
Aaron Jones, I hate this guy right now. He
Yeah.
got 2 touchdowns. He's finally starting to look good again, but Devontae Adams, man, did you see that touchdown he had? Like, he's the only wide receiver out there. The cornerback's lined up on the inside, like, you're not running a slant on me.
Not this time.
Devontae Adams runs a slant and he's wide open.
Yeah, I mean, Adams is good. Adams is real good.
And then Lazard stepped up in Cobb's absence. 6 receptions, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, not bad.
I mean, I was expecting MVS to, but Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but Lazard seemed to do it.
I think Lazard and Rodgers have a better feel for each other on the field, so that's why that's happening. I just don't think MVS has been out there enough with Rodgers.
Well, MVS has been the guy this year over Lazard for the most part.
I guess.
Oh, anyways, that's the end of our Week 14 recap.
Let's go Kyler Murray. 58 points tonight, baby.
47-52.
7. I need 6 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown, 35 completions,
just get enough.
357 yards.
Just get enough to knock Devon out of the
And maybe
median and make the playoffs, and I'll be a happy person.
But I want to beat you and beat Devon,
Yeah, but I don't
and
want you to
I
beat me.
want to go to the playoffs.
Anyways, we do have to make our picks for Thursday night. Josh Gordon may not play. He is vaccinated, so there is a chance, but it's going to be tough at this point. I probably would be willing to start Clyde Edwards-Helaire and possibly Williams against the Chargers.
Yeah, you're definitely throwing the running back
And
out
then
there for sure.
you're still keeping Kelsey and Hill out there, even though Kelsey hasn't performed in the last 2 weeks.
I mean, you have to though.
And then I expect a big game from Eckler. Keenan Allen can be back, and I think Staley expects him to be back. But
Yeah, you're still playing Keenan Allen and Mike Williams.
Yep. Even though this defense has started to look better in recent weeks.
Right, but you're still playing them. Those 2 guys are studs.
So, Ryan, who is your pick for this game?
I think I'm going to just take the hot hand here and stay with the Chiefs.
Well, they've both been hot lately, but I am going to go with the Chiefs as well. Even though the Chargers, I think, beat them last time,
In Arrowhead, yep.
I am going to go with the Chiefs
It
as
was
well.
week 1.
It wasn't week 1. It was like week 2 or 3.
That was week 1.
But I am going to go with the Chiefs as well.
Oh, yeah, the Chiefs barely beat the Browns week 1.
All right, well, that's all we've got for today. We look
Yep.
forward to seeing you guys again on Thursday.
Yes.
In the meantime, thanks for liking our pages, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, liking our YouTube page, subscribing, sharing.
Google Podcasts, Spotify,
Anchor, and
Instagram, Twitter.
Like I said, we look forward to
Facebook.
seeing you guys on Thursday. You guys have a good night.